Morning. As you know, we are in the modes of data collection, different methods or mode of data collection. Now let us discuss pilot survey. What is pilot survey? Once the questionnaire is ready, it is advisable to conduct and try out with a small group, which is known as pilot survey or pre-testing of the questionnaire. So while questionnaire method of data collection, when the questions are prepared to test that whether these questions are good or not, or they could be asked to a large number of people or not, it is tested by asking the same questions to a small group or few people, and if it is found that these questions are properly being answered by this small group of people or few people, then they are sent to a large number of people. The pilot survey helps in providing a preliminary idea about the survey. It helps in pre-testing of the questionnaire. So questionnaire can be tested in advance so as to know the shortcomings and drawbacks of the questions. Pilot survey also helps in assessing the suitability of questions. So in the pilot survey, it is found that if any question is not suitable, not being properly answered by the respondents, they are corrected or they are changed. Pilot survey also helps in assessing the suitability of questions, clarity of instruction, performance of enumerators the people who ask the question, and the cost and time involved in actual survey. So if any type of corrections are to be made in these aspects, if the time taken is too long to respond the questions, then they may be made short, or number of questions may be eliminated, making number of questions less. So some corrections can be used or made in pilot survey. Now, looking at after pilot survey, let us discuss the advantages and disadvantages of various modes of collecting data. First is personal interview. Advantages of personal interview: highest response rate, because each and every person you will talk with, they will give the answer. It will not happen that somebody is being asked a question, they will not answer. The maximum people give the answer. Allows use of all types of questions. The face-to-face interaction between people allows to ask each and every question, all types of question. Better for using open-ended question. Any type of question which may not have a proper answer or choice, they can also be asked, because the person who is asking, or the enumerator, can explain the question to the respondent and he will understand the question and then answer. Allows clarification of ambiguous questions. Some questions which are not clear or confusing, so confusing questions could be made clear by the enumerator or who is in the investigation, and thus the respondent can answer properly. Disadvantages: it is most expensive because personal interaction of people is required in conducting survey. So investigator have to get a contact with each and every person. So get personal contact with each and every person increases the cost, and time also takes plenty of time. Possibility of influencing respondents: it may happen that if the investigator is not honest, the investigator may influence the respondent, particularly in case of illiterate respondent, they may be influenced and something may be told or said by them in the interview that the interviewer wants to listen or wants to convey to the people. And more time taking, as personal contact is necessary, it is more time taking. Mailed interview: what are the disadvantages? Least expensive. First advantages: least expensive. If you are sending a mail to large number of people, there is very less cost, particularly in today's time when you are sending the question through email. So very less cost of email is there, only internet cost, which is less today, is involved. Only method to reach remote areas. If you want to reach remote areas, You can send the question through mail also. No influence of respondents. Since there is no face-to-face interaction, the respondent cannot be influenced by the interviewer. Maintains anonymity of respondents, so they are not influenced, so they are not near to the question who is asking, so they will give their own answer. Best for sensitive questions. The sensitive questions are normally asked in the form of email or privately in the form of email, so they can be asked to the people, and these questions could be asked through mail interview, and personal questions could not be asked by face-to-face interaction also. So this is best method for asking these type of questions. What are the disadvantages? It cannot be used by illiterate. So you cannot send email to illiterate person. They will not be able to answer the questions. Long response time. Normally, many people may not go through their emails, or they may not answer. They may take time because it is not done by any individual person. So if you are sending the letter of questions, or if you are sending the email, the person will take time to respond, and people are not active to respond the questions. It may happen that each and every person is not answering also. Does not allow explanation of unambiguous questions. Some questions which are not clear, confusing, may not be explained by the people because there is no face-to-face interaction, and the respondents may not answer these type of confusing questions, or they may give a wrong answer to that question if they misunderstand the question. Reactions cannot be watched. Facial reaction or any type of physical reaction of a person by listening to the question cannot be watched by a personal interviewer, because no personal contact is being made by the people. Now, telephonic interview. What are the advantages? Telephonic interview are relatively low cost because you are talking on the phone and asking the questions. It is relatively less influence on respondent. So respondents are not influenced because no face-to-face interaction is there, and relatively high response rate. In this, the response rate is higher because people can receive the telephone call immediately and then answer to the questions. Telephonic interview disadvantages. It is limited in use. Normally, we will see that telephonic interviews are very rarely conducted. In case of interview, normally people prefer to have face-to-face interaction. Reactions cannot be watched. You cannot see the person, so you cannot see the reaction to the questions. Then possibility of influencing respondents. On the telephone, it may be possible that the person is being influenced by the interviewer, and the person is influenced and answering according to the interviewer, whatever he wants to listen. Now, census and sample surveys. We will discuss about census. What is census? Census or complete enumeration. Census of India is an organization which collects data related to population, and it collects the data from each and every person. So by census we mean that the data is collected from each and every person, so it is called complete enumeration, so nobody is left. So this is a survey which includes every element of the population. It is known as census or method of complete enumeration. So you can note in your copy also, or underline these things in your book. If certain agencies are interested in studying the total population of in India, they have to obtain information from all the household in rural and urban India. So the data related to population is collected by the government after every 10 years. So in India, it is carried out every 10 years. A house-to-house inquiry is carried out covering all households in India. Demographic data on birth and death rates, literacy, employment, life expectancy, size and composition of population are collected and published by the Registrar General of India. The last census of India was held in 2011. So you will observe that after every 10 years, people from census come to your house and take some time to collect data related to population. So they will come with a set of questions and they will ask those common questions like name, age, occupation, qualification, and each and everything data related to health, so that the government can know the data of people of India related to these matters, and this could be published, and then government could take some actions to improve the situation of people in India. According to census 2011, now these are the actual data. In 2011, population of India was 121.09 crore. So in 2021, again the census will take place. So different areas will have census extensively. People will come to your house and ask some questions, which was 102.87 crore in 2001. So between 2001 and 2011, in 10 years, there was increase of population from 102 to 121, about 19 crore increase. Census 1901 indicated that the population of country was 23.83 crore. So since these are done every year, so the government of India has the data or actual data of people related to population with the record. Since then, in a period of 110 years, the population of country has increased by more than 97 crore. The average annual growth rate of population, which was 2.2% per year in the decade 1971 to 81, came down to 1.97% in 1991-2001 and 1.64% during 2001-2011. So by collecting the data extensively or in detail related to population, these type of actual data could be known by the government, and we can also get the data from these government agencies, and these data help economics to a great extent to formulate the government policies and advise the government in formulation of policies related to development. So this is all about census. So with this topic we end the class today. In the next class we will discuss population and sample. Thank you.